What's up, guys? In this video, we're going to talk about the most profitable PrizePicks plays over 3 NBA games as well as a Thursday night football matchup. Let's go ahead and dive in. Now, before diving in, I just want to talk about what I do on this channel. If you guys are brand new to this channel, please do hit that subscribe button. But I am a profitable long-term bettor. So I use something that's called technical analysis, right? Not your fundamental analysis. I don't look at the last 5 game logs. I don't bring in any emotion to any one of my picks. You guys can see here a verified pick tracker Pickett. I made over $14,000 last month sports betting. And again, this is part-time because my full-time job is I own a business. But more importantly, what I want you guys to see here is that I take many different sports bets. So just because the bets don't hit in this video doesn't necessarily mean I'm not a profitable sports bettor. You have to trust the process long-term, and I'm going to break down my exact strategy in this video while uncovering the top PrizePicks picks for today. So what I'm first going to do is observe the board, right? Because we have 3 NBA matchups, so one can assume that there's actually not too much value on the board, right? Because for a normal NBA slate, you're looking at 12 to 15 games, right? On a Wednesday, Friday, packed NBA game slate. But because we're in the middle of this tournament, I think we're nearing the end of it. We have not as many players to select from. So I'm taking a look here at the most popular picks on PrizePicks. So let's take a look at where the public is laying their money, right? We're looking at Saddiq Bey, right? Why is he a popular play? Well, because his 16.5 line looks to be a little bit softer, right? Because the last 5 games, he's hit the over. That being said, rotations matter, minutes matter, everything under the sun matters as to why these last 5 games hit. Did he have a great shooting performance, right? These are things that I don't look at, right? I'm looking at the public right now and seeing the fact that they hit the over of 16.5 simply because of the past 5 games. And we'll probably see the exact same kind of thing here if we switch over to James Harden, right? Hit the past 2 out of 3 games, right? And if we take a look at the next popular play, 4 out of 5 for Zubac hitting the over on rebounds. Now, if you blindly follow these charts, you're not going to have success. PrizePicks post these for exact reasons, right? To sway your opinion, because what they do know is that they're setting their lines to an exact 50-50 line based on their models, their projections, their sportsbooks, where the sharp money's coming in, right? All these things are factoring into why PrizePicks is setting the projections at what they are, right? This is not a profitable long-term strategy. And if you're watching this video, you're probably not a profitable PrizePicks picker, right? You're not a profitable sports bettor. That's okay, because we've all been there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my exact strategy, right? When we talk about PrizePicks, right, we don't think of them as a sports book, but under their layers of their projections are actually lines that are equivalent to the sportsbook lines, right? If you look at FanDuel, if you look at DraftKings, if you live in a state where sportsbooks are legal, you see all kinds of lines, right? Minus 150 to minus 110 for different player props, for game lines, right? You can bet on games. And that's called dynamic American odds pricing. However, PrizePicks is different in the sense that whatever you put in terms of a projection, whether you hit the over or the under, or you hit the over on Brown or the under on Jokic, right? No matter what you select, the payouts are never going to change. They have fixed payouts, right? They call themselves a fantasy app or a DFS app, whatever kind of terminology they use, a peer-to-peer fantasy app. But in reality, they're just a sports book. The 4-pick entry for a PrizePicks slip is equivalent to having average odds of minus 128, because if you put in 4 props on a regular sports book, it pays out 10x or plus 900 odds. So if you break that down in terms of average odds, that's 4 minus 128 props. So anyway, that's what we're looking at here when we're looking at these projections. What I'm going to do is compare what PrizePicks is setting their projections at minus 128, minus 122, and in 6-mans, you're getting average odds of minus 116 per player prop, right? We're comparing minus 116 player props on PrizePicks directly to the sportsbook. And when we identify an edge, if the sportsbooks view this as a different type of pricing than PrizePicks, that's when we're going to attack those props. So that's the entire strategy, right? If there is a mispricing on these player props, we're going to switch gears and we're going to take the over or under on that specific player prop based on the industry knowledge, because the industry has millions and millions of dollars pouring into the pricing for these player props. And if we can find out that PrizePicks is falling asleep at the wheel on some of these player props, that's when we're going to take advantage. And that's what this looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch gears over to a line comparison tool. This is called upside.tools. I'll go ahead and put the link in the description if you guys want to sign up using my code MattYT, that's Matt YouTube, MattYT, for 25% off your subscription. This tool is very useful in the sense that it updates every couple seconds when comparing sportsbooks directly back to PrizePicks. Very, very cheap, one of the cheapest in the industry. That being said, what we're going to do is utilize this tool to find out our favorite picks for a hopefully 6-man PrizePicks slip. If we take a look here, and again, I'm just looking at NBA because that's the top of mind here for this video. Steven Adams is here at the top at under 6 points. Now, why is this a good play, right? Before we switch over and we put in the PrizePicks slip, it's because every other sportsbook has their projection set to 5.5. So you're getting that 0.5 buffer here on Steven Adams to hit the under at 6, right? If he pushes, that's okay, whatever. The sportsbook has their projection set to 5.5, but not only that, it has even amounts of juice on each side, right? Minus 106, minus 110, minus 110 on Caesars, minus 108 on Novik. If you guys see what I'm looking at here, going down the line here, every single other sportsbook has this projection set to 5.5. Well, let's think about this logically, right? If every single sportsbook has their projection set to 5.5, except for PrizePicks, where are we going, right? We're taking the under on PrizePicks. You got to consider all the sharp money. Every single recreational bettor is hitting the over/under on 5.5 here on DraftKings, FanDuel. Now, I'm also going to preface this by saying this projection might actually move by the time I post this video. Why is that? Because every single sharp sports bettor is looking at the exact same thing. So timing matters, right? That's why I always talk about having access to tools like this because, it's all about taking advantage very quickly these days, right? Especially if you want to be a sharp sports bettor. And I can almost guarantee you that, nearly all these picks will be gone by the time I post this video, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try my best here. So Steven Adams, let's actually see if he's still on the board. I'm going to hope that he is. Steven Adams, under 6 points. He's actually there. So going against the Clippers, also a bad matchup, right? Or not the best matchup, rather, versus Zubac. So I actually like this pick overall. It's 6 points on the under here for Steven Adams. And again, the only reason I'm taking this is because I'm trusting the sportsbooks. Now, is this going to hit? I don't know. The chances are it's probably not, or it's probably going to hit on the under, right? But does that mean it won't go over? Well, absolutely not, right? Like, this is a long-term game. It means more times than not that the Steven Adams prop is going to hit the under. So I'm more than confident on taking the under here at 6 because what we're doing is we're one-to-one comparing here versus sportsbooks, and not just one sportsbook. Looks like over 10 sportsbooks, right? They all earn agreements, which I really do like. And then Amen Thompson here, under 7 rebounds for the exact same reason, right? We're looking at Hard Rock actually favoring the under at 6.5. And we're looking at Underdog heavily favoring the under as well at 6.5. So why wouldn't we take this at 0.5 higher here on rebounds on Amen Thompson? So if we go here, we're hoping that the bigs just get dominated down low and there's no rebounding, right, for either one of these players, for no more points to be scored. So hopefully they just get locked down, right? That's what we're hoping for. So you can argue that technically these are positively correlated. So what we're going to do here is we're going to lock in Amen Thompson, Steven Adams, and we're just going to go down the line here and start taking the next best plays. And again, this is all based on sportsbook analysis. Now, I'm going to start to deviate away from NBA, not because I don't believe that NBA doesn't have good value, but because there's better value on NFL right now, and specifically on this, I think this is a Sunday matchup, right? JJ McCarthy, Minnesota going up against Dallas. And the reason why I'm targeting this is because I'm taking the value when I can, right? Right now on FanDuel, at 18.5 pass completions for JJ McCarthy, heavily favoring the under. If you guys don't know how to observe American odds, I'm not going to dive too much into it here in this video, but I have plenty of other videos on my second YouTube channel. If you guys just search Matt Downs, you'll find my other YouTube channel. I think there's about 1.8K subscribers on there right now, but I talk about my process and the fundamentals of American odds. But basically, if you don't know what it or how to observe American odds, right, you are basically looking at the more negative, the more favored that line is to hit, right? So because minus 144 is a lot greater than the minus 119 odds that we're looking at here on PrizePicks, it's a lot more favored on FanDuel to hit the under than it is on PrizePicks. And same thing with DraftKings. Minus 130 is greater than minus 119, right? They're punishing you on these sports books by heavily juicing the under. Now, I get it. It's set to 18 here. But if we look at the other sports books as well, it looks like underdog is heavily favoring the under, 0.5 lower. Again, we're just looking at these even props, and when there's a huge discrepancy here, we're simply taking the higher value and giving ourselves a buffer here. JJ McCarthy also sucks. So there's that analysis as well. So if we search up JJ McCarthy, and again, I'm trying to speed through this so I can take advantage of this before this value moves. You guys will see throughout the day, this type of value moves very quickly. So let's go ahead and take the under. So far, we got 3 unders. Hopefully you guys like unders. And yeah, let's give this a quick refresh here because, again, you don't know when the value is going to pop up. It looks like I overlooked another play here. Cueta, over 1.5 assists. Now, he's not known for giving and dishing the rock out, right? But we can see here, over 1.5 assists is being heavily favored on the over on underdog 205. On BetMGM, no, not as that good of a book for their pricing, but still favoring the over at minus 130. And then Fanatics way off, minus 175. I'm way okay with locking in Cueta here on the over for his assists. All he needs is to get 2. Bada bing, bada boom. That's the first over in the slip. Coming from an over assist here from Cueta, that's not scary at all. And then we got another interesting one here. I'm going to look at Sangoon here, under 16.5 field goal attempts. Another under here. And why are we setting this? Because we have a competitor here from Dabble, minus 122 set to 16. So a full field goal attempt lower, and then also an underdog heavily favoring that under. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take yet another Houston player under. Field goal attempts under at 16.5. And then let's try to go ahead and find one more here before this locks. I know a majority of you can't play college basketball, so we're going to avoid that here for now. And then Peyton Watson, over 7.5 rebounds and assists. It looks like every sports book here, every recreational sportsbook is favoring the over. I'll go ahead and plug and play Peyton Watson, over 7.5 rebounds plus assists. Why? Because I'm trusting the sportsbooks to do my research for me because, quite frankly, they do better research than any other person on the planet. Don't let anybody lie to you. There's nobody that can beat the sportsbooks long term without having to observe the lines like we just did in this video. So again, these are my picks right now. I get not all of them are NBA. If you guys want to take out the NFL play, I believe this slip is still profitable long term. But what we're doing is we're observing the value on the sports books, and we're taking advantage of the mispricings on PrizePicks. These average odds per player prop for a 6-man slip come out to be minus 116. Okay, I'll dive into the math in another video, but this is a profitable long-term slip. If you guys want to lock this in now, I'm going to go ahead and post a link in the description, not only for my PrizePicks slip for you guys to tail, but also if you guys want to sign up for Upside, this is the tool I use. Plus EV plan is $60 a month with that 25% off, $44.25 for your first month. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more daily videos going forward. If you did like this video, please do hit that subscribe button, notification bell, and of course, smash that like button for all of my future NBA and NFL content.